Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here. Another episode of Coffee with Coach. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Saturday morning. It's beautiful here, at least over here where I'm at. Sky's clear, beautiful sunshine. Hope everyone's doing great, good mental attitude. Again, if you're not, these episodes are to help put your mind in the right place and get your day going in the right direction. So, again, listening to some more Jocko this morning, and something that just caught my attention a lot was he's talking about the rut, right? The rut. And I think we all can relate to, at some point or another, a rut that we get into. A rut in life, a rut at work, a rut with our workouts, our eating habits, what we eat, a rut with, if you do jiu-jitsu, your game stalls, it plateaus, something's going on with what's going on. You don't feel like you're progressing, and it gets frustrating. You get into these ruts, all these different ruts. And he's talking about when you get into these ruts, things go black, right? Things get confusing, things go flat. You're disoriented, and one of the things that they were talking about was if you're not going up, you don't know which way you're going because you've hit this plateau, this rut, you're going down, right? And we're all trying to, at least we should be trying to be aware that the fact that we don't want to go down, we don't want to go backwards in life. All of us at some point got to where we're at today and worked really hard to get to where we got to. And it takes a lot of self-awareness to not go backwards. Maybe you just get complacent. Maybe you get too happy that you made it. You made it to the top. And, you just start to relax and chill out a little bit. And then you start to lose that edge, that ground. You're not climbing anymore. Everyone can relate to that at some point, whether it's a rut, you're trying to get somewhere and you just hit a roadblock, a stall, man. Like what is going on? Like I'm trying to do certain things here and they're not working. Or like I said, you got somewhere and you just stalled yourself out because you got too happy. You popped the champagne cork and, you're just celebrating too much and, you're no longer moving in the right direction. And like they said, if you're not going up, okay, you're going down, okay, because you're in the same place. And I really liked the way they kind of put that. So they're talking about checking your control panels, right? We all have control panels inside. We got to be self-aware and check, the gauges, see what's working, what's not working, and see what the heck is going on. They're talking about just, you have to be self-aware. You have to stop and check everything out and see what part of your mind or your game or whatever the situation is that we're talking about being in a rut is no longer working, no longer moving. The needle's no longer moving in the right direction. They're talking about, he's always talking about taking ownership. So, of course, you got to take ownership, right? You got to identify the problem, what's going on, and then find a solution. Okay. And that's up to us to do that. And we have to every day, which is hard to do, but I think if you're made aware that the fact that you have to be self-aware and you do have to take ownership of your own actions, your own life, and it's no one else's fault of what happens to you but you, I think you're able to progress a lot faster and get out of those ruts and make the right decisions and start moving forward again. I talked about it before. I was in a rut in Saginaw, Michigan, where I'm from. It's like 25, 26 years old. Was working for General Motors. Life was good, man. General Motors was a good company to work for back then, making good money, a lot of overtime, great insurance. Had a new home. Moved to a certain area of town, had a really nice home, little over a half-acre lot, man, had new car, new everything, life was good. but I wasn't happy. I remember looking out the window like today's just a really beautiful morning. And I remember looking out of my window one day and just not being happy. I was in a rut, and I was like, man, I got all this stuff. You know, I got money, I got nice car, house. I got, like, what's the problem? You know, and it was something inside of me. So I wasn't happy where I was at. I felt like I could have did more. And so I moved. Okay. I moved. That's how I ended up here in Arlington, Texas. And then, you know, got here. The change was good. You know, was still training jiu-jitsu, doing that for a while. And then just obviously wasn't happy working for General Motors anymore. Was in another rut. Like, man, I don't want to do this for 30 years. You know, my grandfather did it for 20 something years. And then my dad, you know, he did 32 years. You know, I just couldn't see myself doing that. I didn't want to spend the next 20 years, because I think I had like 11 years in or whatever. You know, I had it. Like, all I got to do is just ride this out, man. And that's going to be the rest of my life. But I wasn't happy with that. So what I do, I made another move. I quit, went all in on jiu-jitsu, and now where I'm at, right? Now I am happy. I love doing what I do. And jiu-jitsu over the years has definitely taught me about ruts, because, man, you know, your games get stalled, and you have to just, after a while, you get to doing something so well that or you do it for so long that your teammates or your rolling partners, your students, get used to your game and what you do, and they start to stall you out. They adjust. So what do? You can either get upset and stop growing, or do a new game, try something else new. But what happens when you try something else new? You get uncomfortable. You're getting your guard pass, you're getting choked, you're getting arm locked, you're getting your foot locked, you're getting put in all these bad situations when life was good, okay? Your game was working, and now it's no longer working. Jiu-jitsu over time has definitely taught me, like, man, you have to be self-aware of your game, where you're at, who's doing what to you, what are they doing to stop it, and what are you going to do to adjust, you know? And being self-aware like that, you know, when I do get into ruts or plateaus, I'm not there very long, because of the fact that I know I need to make some different moves, right? I deal with that with students all the time. Some people, oh, I'm not learning anything new. My game is the same. You know, you feel, you know, like it's just whatever. And it's like, well, that's on you. You're not putting yourself in positions to be uncomfortable, putting yourself in positions to where you can grow. You're not being self-aware of what needs to be fixed. So you're not fixing it, because you are not willing to get out of these positions that you're in and go to new positions. I got a lot of students like that. Some of these students will continue to stay where they're at and be frustrated as they watch other students grow and surpass them, you know, where someone started before someone and now they're passing them by, because certain individuals said, you know what? Hey, coach, what do I do? What I need to do to get better, or to do this, or to do that, or catch this person? Easy. I'll give you the answer. You're not going to like it, but this is what you need to do that. Some individuals will listen, take that advice, grow, get better, surpass the ones that started before them, or some will stay the same and they will always be the same. You know, there was one individual that I used to train with many years ago, and he did the same guard pass over and over and over again. And he used to frustrate the heck out of me, man, because I didn't have the answer to it, man. I did private lesson after private lesson. I did seminars, and I'd raise my hand. I'd ask questions like, man, how do I stop this thing from happening? And one day I got the answer to it. And I've been able to shut it down ever since. So anyways, I don't see this individual for a very long time. They come to visit me at my academy when I open up a long time ago. We shake hands, we get to rolling. It's the same game. Like, nothing changed since we were blue belts. And I commence, like, I can just, those rounds were just, I owned them. Like, I owned them. Like, every single round, I knew exactly what he was going to do because I've trained him before. It was the same thing. Nothing changed. And we're both black belts at the time, right? And then afterwards, he was like, you know, just kind of confused, disoriented, like didn't know, because that worked on everyone else. And he didn't change it because it just continued to work. But he guess he never came across that problem like he did with me. And I smoked him, man. I gave him the business like for 4 or 5 rounds or whatever, how many rounds we did. And because I changed, I asked questions. I got, you know, I did the necessary steps to stop the problem. And you have to do the same thing. Assess the situation, what's going on, take ownership, you know, identify the problem, and then find a solution. So if that's you today, you're in a rut, you hit a plateau, things are kind of dark, kind of cloudy, you know, you're not moving forward, you're going down, you're going backwards, all right? So we need to go forward, we need to go up. So how do we do that? Take ownership of it, find the problem, ask some questions, put yourself in a different situation. You know, like I said, I moved, I quit my job, I done this, I done that. Like there's a lot of scenarios, but quitting my job and moving from a place that I never thought I'd move from has opened up my mind to a lot of things on how to not stay in a situation for too long to where, you know, I'm not growing. All right. So let's grow today, man. Let's get your mind right. Let's put things in the right position so that you can get better. Assess the situation, be self-aware, and just self-diagnose what's happening with you. Why are you in the place where you're at? Is it your friends, relationship, you know, your job, your game? You need to change your game up if you train jiu-jitsu, whatever the case may be. You know, let's change it up, let's grow, let's get better. All right, you guys have a great day and a great weekend. We'll talk to you next time.